Excellent. This person is coming in slow as fuck, but they're coming in. I think because they finally realized that they're the ones that hurt by not doing anything, by holding back. It's creating pain for them. Oh yeah, look at that. The Lovers. Oh, exciting. Someone wants to move towards the Queen of Wands. All right, I like it. They want to offer heartfelt emotion. Now, keep in mind, they did start off as a Page of Cups, and now it's being reversed because they're losing the shyness. Or not losing it, but they're moving past it. They're gaining this, like, I have to do it. I will do it. It is coming from the heart, though. I'm sure they're attracted because Queen of Wands is a very attractive person. But it's more than that. It's coming from their heart. They no longer want this queen to be single. They see her like she's too attractive. They imagine droves of people coming towards this queen, and they're like, yeah, I can't take that anymore. I need to take this queen off the market. That's cute. Let's see. Let's get some clarity. Clarify Ace of Cups. So we've got the Seven of Cups, see? Clarify the Ace of Cups. Eight of Pentacles. Clarify the Ace. All right, we've got Queen of Swords. Three of Pentacles with the Three of Wands. Okay. So it's still in the crush energy because they still don't know this queen very well. This is someone who's been observing her from afar. I love how the Three of Wands has like this little window. Yeah, see, their insecurities have kept them away. They've been watching her through this little window. So for some of you, that little window could be your phone or their laptop. It's like a window into another world. That's what I'm thinking of, like digital devices. So they imagine that she's so warm. I think the few interactions they've had with this queen, she's been warm, welcoming, and they imagine that she is this way with everyone. And you see how there's this giant tentacle wrapping around the cup? This makes me think of a couple of things. First, they picture a lot of people wanting to attach themselves to this queen. Second of all, they are wanting to attach themselves to this queen. So of course they're kind of projecting. They're imagining that she's got all these offers and every day new offers must come in. What they don't know, this is how I know they don't know her, that she's also a Queen of Swords, meaning she can see, look at her face. This is not the queen you into bullshit. So this queen may be a Queen of Wands, may be warm and approachable and kind, but they're also not with the bullshit. They pick very carefully. They're very selective about who they build with. And that's how I know this person doesn't know them well, because they imagine that there's this urgency, which is okay. Let them think that, because at least they're making a move. They feel a sense of urgency and like, I have to do this before she's just swept up, which, to be honest, somebody like a Queen of Wands would be swept up. So clarify Nine of Pentacles reversed. They just don't want her to be single anymore. Okay, this came out reversed. Queen of Cups reversed. Clarify Nine of Pentacles. Eight of Cups and Father of Wands. With the Star. So this could be a couple of things. With the Star energy, this Queen of Wands may be a public figure of some sort, or she is just everything they've ever wanted. Queen of Cups reversed. They've seen something of, I don't know how long they've been observing her, but they've seen something in her life where she was with a King of Wands, which is her equal, but Queen of Cups reversed. Either they saw her not really in love with this person, or they saw her fall out of love with this person and walk away. And that's been part of what's kept them in fear, because whoever the King of Wands is, this is someone who shows up very masculine, very, it doesn't have to be a man, but they showed up as a leader. They showed up as someone that you look up to, someone that you respect. And I think the insecurity started from that point when they were like, oh God, if that king can't keep their attention, how do I think I can keep their attention? However, they're at this point where they're just like, you know what? No risk, no gain. Clarify Page of Cups reverse. Three of Cups, Son of Swords. And the Six of Pentacles. The Mother of Pentacles. They may be dealing with an Empress, because so far we've seen her as all four queens. One was reversed, but that was them, you know, detaching emotionally from someone. So they see this person as very nurturing, someone that they want to build stability with. Three of Cups. There's a couple of possibilities here. And it could be both. For some of you, this could be somebody who's been asking around. You see how it shows three little birds sitting there? It looks like they're chatting, having a little gossip, especially with this Knight of Swords or Son of Swords energy. This person could have been asking around. If they know, if they have people in common, they might have been doing a little research about why they fell out of love with this King of Wands. They might have discovered some things like, oh, okay, so it was an unequal relationship. Oh, it kind of made them start losing some of their shyness, because they realized that just because they may have looked on the outside like they were a perfect fit, apparently they weren't. And it's giving them a little like, oh, okay, gotcha. So, all right. So as long as, you know, you invest in her, she will invest in you. Got it. Okay, so it gave them a little bit of courage. The other thing I see, the Three of Cups could also represent friends of theirs telling them that, like, well, you don't know why they walked away. You know, for all you know, it was an unequal relationship, or it just wasn't the right fit. Just because they look good doesn't mean they were good. So it could go either way or both. Clarify the Chariot. Ten of Wands. Four of Cups. Three of Swords. With the Hermit. Okay, so whoever it is that's being shy, they're definitely an introvert. We have Virgo energy here, but it doesn't have to be Virgo. They're just not somebody who is very outwardly expressive, because we have Cancerian and Virgo, two of the shyest energies. But again, it could just represent the person being shy. So, Ten of Wands, two things. First, this person feels pressure, as in the Queen of Wands may not even know that they exist, or they don't know that they have feelings for them. This may be somebody that they see as a friend. So the burden kind of falls on them, because the Queen of Wands has no idea that they have romantic inclinations towards her. And two, because their feelings, I feel like they're increasing. So before, with the Four of Cups here, they could ignore this. They could, you know, when it was just a crush, they could ignore it, and they could be like, you know what, I'm just gonna observe her from afar. It's just, it gives me satisfaction just to watch her work, or just to watch her, whenever they could see her, that through that little window, they would observe her. But that's no longer enough. Got the Three of Swords here. It's causing them pain now. Their emotions are growing. It's no longer just a crush. It's gaining momentum in their heart. And they're in this space of, yeah, you know what? I've got to do something about it. And the Chariot card is a trump over all three of these cards. It doesn't matter what they're feeling. The desire to move and to do something about it is stronger. Clarify Heart of Wands. Seven of Swords. The Lovers. Daughter of Swords. Oh, how interesting. Well, well, well. The Heart of Wands shows up as a fox because she's a foxy lady. And look who shows up in the Seven of Swords. Another little fox. So what does this tell us? It tells us that the Queen of Wands actually knows exactly what's happening with this person. Look at her. Pretending to be sleeping, and look at her little eye like, I peep you. I watch you. I know what's going on with you. But, well, okay, let me rephrase that. I think that the Queen of Wands is also observing this person. I think that that's where the shock is coming from. The Tower is here because this person has no clue that the Queen of Wands is observing them. And the Queen of Wands, I don't think has any clue that they are observing her. They're both kind of watching each other. You know that thing that happens when you walk into a room and you notice someone that you really are drawn to, and you're out of the corner of your eye, you're watching them, and every time that you know they're looking another direction, that's when you take the opportunity to look at them. At least I've done that. I don't know about you guys, I've done that. And this is what it feels like here. So they're both doing it to each other. Neither one of them are aware that the other person is just as drawn to them. That's the shock. That is the shock, because that's how the Lovers is here. They're both just as drawn to each other. So the Queen of Wands is observing them as closely as they are observing her. Well then, okay. Let's see. Let's see how this plays out. Give me the next row, please. The Four of Pentacles. The Spirit of Swords, which is, I believe that's the King, reversed. Six of Wands reversed. Five of Cups upright. And the Death card. Oh, okay. With the Nine of Wands. Five of Pentacles. Star. Movement of Wands. Ten of Wands. Okay. This is great. It might not look so great initially, but it's actually really good. Because we have somebody who is transforming. Initially, this person showed up, or initially this is who they were. They were somebody who might have been a little too calculating, a little too detached. Six of Wands is showing up reversed, so they might have had a little too much ego. So in their mind, part of the reason that they were holding back is because they were like, well, we're going to let the Queen of Wands come to us. Which means that they have, this is a little convoluted, because they do have a measure of confidence. But it went into the area of too much confidence, into the arena of arrogance even. I don't think this is somebody who's used to making the first move. They're kind of used to holding back and letting people come to them. So they are either someone who's very good looking, or they're wealthy, they're powerful. There's something about them that they don't really, They're not used to putting in all this work now. However, the queen, remember, she was being all sneaky, right? She's looking this other direction. They finally realize she's not even looking at me, or that's how they feel. They feel she's not even looking at them. Because they give no indication that they're into her, she's kind of like, oh, well, c'est la vie. And it left them here with like, okay, that's not working. This system isn't working. Something has to change. I like that we've got the Nine of Wands here, because they're not willing to give up. They could have been like, oh, well, she never came to me. Big deal. We're done. But no, they're not giving up. They're showing up as a little, I think that's a chimp. I think, I'm not sure. But it's like a clever, quick energy. Like, okay, I've got to come up with an idea. This is stemming from, okay. There's a couple of possibilities here, because we do have a broken necklace with a broken stone. So on one hand, these two have already had some sort of bad beginning. And that's why this King of Swords was like, well, I can't go to her. Their pride wouldn't let them go to her. But they also don't want to give up. The other possibility is that this king has had a lot of broken relationships, and so they're in the energy of, it's just going to end up terrible. Either way, this is what was stopping them from moving forward. But she's their star. It doesn't matter how long they waited. The fact does not change